Full-time employment is employment in which a person works a minimum number of hours defined as such by his/her employer. Full-time employment often comes with benefits that are not typically offered to part-time, temporary, or flexible workers, such as annual leave, sick leave, and health insurance. Full-time jobs are often considered careers. They generally pay more than part-time jobs, and usually carry more hours per week. The Fair Labor Standards Act does not define full-time employment or part-time employment. This is a matter generally to be determined by the employer. The definition by employer can vary and is generally published in a company's Employee Handbook. Companies commonly require from €30 to €35 or 40 hours per week to be defined as full-time and therefore eligible for benefits. Full-time status varies between company and is often based on the shift the employee must work during each work week. The standard work week consists of 5 8-hour days, commonly served between 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. totaling 40 hours. While a 4-day week generally consists of 4 10-hour days. It may also consist of as little as 9 hours for a total of a 36-hour work week. 12-hour shifts are often 3 days per week, unless the company has the intention of paying out the employee overtime. Overtime is legally paid out any time an employee works more than 40 hours per week. The legal minimum for overtime starts at base pay plus 1/2. The increased payout is considered to compensate slightly for the increased fatigue which a person experiences on such long shifts. Shifts can also be very irregular, as in retail, but are still full-time if the required number of hours is reached. There are some situations where a person who needs full-time work is dropped to part-time, which is sometimes a form of constructive dismissal to avoid paying unemployment benefits to a laid-off worker. Definitions by country: full-time work weeks, Australia around €35 to €40 hours, Belgium, 38 hours, Brazil, 40 to 44 hours, Chile, 45 hours, Denmark, 37 hours, France, 35 hours, Germany, €35 to 40 hours, Iceland, 40 hours, Israel, 43 hours, Italy, 40 hours, Netherlands, 35 to 40 hours, Poland, 40 hours, United Kingdom, 35 hours, United States, 30 hours or more, according to the definitions in the Affordable Care Act. The Fair Labor Standards Act does not define full-time employment or part-time employment. This is a matter generally to be determined by the employer. A person working more than full-time is working overtime, and may be entitled to extra per-hour wages. Academic usage: €OE full-time. Euro can also be used in reference to a student who takes a full load of coursework each academic term. The distinction between a full-time and part-time student varies markedly from country to country. As an example, in the United States a student is commonly defined as being in full-time education when they undertake 12 or more credit hours. This translates to 12 hours in class per week. Lab hours often count for less, only as 1/2 or 1/3 of a credit hour. International students must maintain full-time status for student visas. Adult students may also fall under their parents' health insurance if they are full-time, except for 1 term per year. Students may also be eligible for elected office in student government or other student organizations only if they are full-time. The Department of Labor has a full-time student program which allows employers to pay no less than 85% of the minimum wage to the student employee. See also, employment, wage labor, 8-hour day, references.